Nicki Minaj and SZA have officially gone from subtle shade to full-blown online warfare, and the reason might be deeper than just ego or old tweets. Nicki initially fired shots at Terrence Henderson from TDE, accusing him of bullying her after she turned down his business proposals. Then SZA dropped a casual post about Mercury retrograde, don't take the bait, LOL silly goose, a subtle move that Nicki read as a direct jab and responded with ruthless ferocity. Nicki didn't stop at subtweets. She dug up alleged old tweets of SZA shading Beyoncé, Rihanna, and Ciara, and clapped back with savage commentary on SZA's voice, appearance, and tour numbers. But then SZA struck back harder. She released receipts showing Nicki had requested features twice, text messages and all, and even rapped SZA lyrics in Feeling Myself. Nicki responded and with more mockery, clowning SZA's freckles, Jersey myth, and even claiming SZA's monthly listeners miraculously vanished by 30 million. The receipts are out, the insults are flying, and everyone's asking, what's really going on behind the scenes? Is this just a petty feud? Or is Nicki exposing something far more calculated involving business deals, fandom power, and long-standing resentment? It all started when Nicki Minaj took aim at TDE's president, Punch, calling him out for allegedly bullying her online after she rejected his business offer. Punch had tweeted in 2020 that Nicki's first week sales projection of 225,000 was solid, but Nicki's fan base, the Barbs, felt it was shade. Nicki wasn't having it. She accused him of weaponizing his influence to downplay her success and even hinted that the numbers didn't lie, but the people behind the scenes might be doing some manipulating. But things escalated when SZA entered the chat quietly. After the tension flared between Nicki and Punch, SZA made a cryptic Instagram post saying, Mercury retrograde is afoot, silly goose, don't take the bait. Now she didn't name names, but Nicki read between the lines and came back swinging. She laughed at SZA's comment, mocking her with, oh, Misa took the bait, silly goose. Wasn't she warning about retrograde? Now she's been up all day commenting on blogs. I'm hollering. And just like that, the floodgates opened. Nicki began reposting old tweets allegedly written by SZA in her late teens, where she seemingly shaded Beyoncé, Ciara, and Rihanna. Tweets that had already been floating around for years suddenly got new life and new weight, with Nicki dragging them back into the spotlight. What had been a vague astrological subtweet turned into a battlefield. And Nicki, she wasn't done yet. After mocking SZA's retrograde post, Nicki didn't just stop at the blogs. She turned the volume all the way up by going after SZA's reputation and her tour. Nicki reposted clips of people allegedly leaving SZA's shows early, especially when Kendrick Lamar wasn't on stage. She sarcastically called it a bro tour, implying that fans only came for Kendrick and dipped once SZA performed. Ouch. Then came the real hit. Nicki posted an old video of SZA fangirling over Rihanna on a red carpet, acting starstruck and gushing about her outfit. Innocent, right? Not to Nicki. She captioned it with, LOL, these be the fake girls. Girls who talks but would run down for a photo or do S like this on camera to pretend they're not the hater they really are. Then she added, I wonder what she was lying about to the interviewer. Man, it's so freeing to really be yourself. It was clear Nicki was calling SZA a fake, someone who publicly worships celebrities she privately trashes. But if Nicki thought SZA was going to stay quiet, she was about to be proven very wrong. In a calm but cutting tweet, SZA responded, Nicki, you absolutely know my music and what I contribute. You've asked for features twice to no response. In addition to rapping my lyrics on Feeling Myself, hooking up the bass, looking like a kilo, LOL, you're having a moment. I'm not sure why, but be blessed. Boom. Not only did she call out Nicki's alleged feature requests, but she also pointed out that Nicki once rapped her bars, proof that she definitely knew SZA's work. Then came the DMS. SZA's camp allegedly leaked a screenshot of Nicki texting her directly saying, "Hey, it's Nicki Minaj. I got this hook I think she'd be dope on. I'll send the hook first. If she as with it, I'll send the files." The song was apparently called Don't Do. And while Nicki hasn't addressed the receipts directly, she also hasn't denied them, which only made people wonder if Nicki didn't care about SZA's music. Why was she asking for her vocals? And SZA wasn't done. She kept her response classy, calm, and factual, while Nicki spiraled deeper into mockery and shade, but Nicki's next move would leave fans stunned. After SZA calmly aired out the feature request receipts, Nicki Minaj hopped on station head, and what followed was a full-on verbal assault that felt less like a response and more like a meltdown. Nicki didn't just throw shade, she torched the house. She called SZA Misa and unleashed a rant that bounced between brutal personal jabs and chaotic industry conspiracy. At one point, she said, "Find you somebody else to play with. You already played with your own hoe." And we seen how that went. Then she veered into body shaming territory. "I don't know if you fat, obese, chubby, or skinny, but get off my hair." She mocked SZA's freckles, voice, and even accused her of needing auto-tune. "You a yodeling fool who needs auto-tune and disses every female entertainer based off screenshots?" And the hits kept coming. Nicki claimed SZA used to shade Black female icons just to fit in. She laughed at her alleged insecurities, saying she couldn't get in the in crowd and had to draw freckles on her face to rebrand herself. But the most unsettling part? Nicki ended her rant with a warning. "You don't even know what's coming. A lot of information has been collected. Shut up." It was clear. This wasn't just about clout or comments. Nicki was angry, and she wanted everyone to feel it. Just when you thought the rant couldn't go any further, Nicki flipped the script, dragging the music industry into the mix and hinting at something much bigger than a personal beef. She claimed that millions of her streams had mysteriously disappeared. 30 million streams this week, 60 million next week. Where have they gone? Her voice dripped with sarcasm and suspicion as she implied someone was pulling strings behind the scenes, trying to sabotage her numbers, her image, and her narrative. Then she said the quiet part out loud. "Let's talk about the real reason why a certain someone and a certain company came on the internet saying things about me. They failed to mention they tried to make a business proposition work with me." Without naming names, she strongly implied that behind the scenes, deals had gone sour, possibly with TDE, possibly with Roc Nation, and that those rejections were fueling public attacks dressed up as random commentary. Nicki seemed to be suggesting that some of these feuds weren't spontaneous drama, but carefully crafted distractions meant to shake her position in the industry. And when it comes to Nicki, she's never believed in coincidence. Out of nowhere, Nicki threw in a bombshell, dragging Roc Nation CEO Desiree Perez into the conversation and referencing a separate scandal involving Perez's daughter, Demori Hadley. While airing out SZA, Nicki pivoted and said, "Justice for Demori. Desiree Perez, I hope you didn't do what you've been accused of. It's shameful and disgusting. If you did it, you need mental help, ma'am." Fans were stunned. This wasn't just beef anymore. Nicki was now connecting SZA to Roc Nation, a company she's publicly accused of shady business for years. And if you read between the lines, Nicki was suggesting that this beef might be a smokescreen, one orchestrated by powerful people in the industry trying to discredit her. It was a classic Nicki move, expose of one target while hinting that a bigger force is pulling the strings in the background. She didn't provide receipts for the Perez claims, but the message was loud and clear. "Don't play with me. I see everything, and I know more than you think." Whether you believe Nicki or not, it was clear she wasn't just fighting SZA. She was firing shots at a system. By this point, Nicki's rant had gone way beyond personal insults. It started to sound like a warning, a threat even. She turned her attention back to SZA and said, "Shut the up next time, okay? You don't even know what's coming." Her tone shifted from petty to ominous as she hinted that she had more information, things she hadn't revealed yet. Then she said it again, slower this time. A lot of information has been collected. Shut up. Nicki doubled down on her earlier claims that this wasn't just a feud, it was about control, about people who tried to use her, failed, and then retaliated in silence or through subtle sabotage. She accused SZA of being fake, someone who disses others behind the scenes but still wants to collaborate when the spotlight dims. You diss people, but low key, you need them. You want to work with them, right? And just like that, the temperature dropped. What started as playful shade and old tweets turned into something far more serious, a cold war between one of rap's biggest icons and an industry she no longer trusts. Nicki wasn't just clapping back, she was declaring war. When Nicki Minaj goes on the offensive, she doesn't pull punches, and this time SZA got the full force of her wrath. From mocking freckles to exposing alleged hypocrisy, Nicki made one thing clear. She's done staying quiet, but here's the twist. SZA didn't fold. Instead of matching the aggression, she clapped back with calm confidence, dropping feature receipts, exposing contradictions, and walking away without breaking a sweat. No profanity, no breakdown, just proof. So what now? Nicki's warning suggests she's not finished. She claims she's collected information and alluded to major stream manipulation behind the scenes. She dragged Roc Nation, name-dropped Desiree Perez, and painted herself as the real victim in a world of fake friends and failed deals. Meanwhile, SZA's chart-topping career and loyal fan base suggest she won't be rattled easily. If anything, this back and forth gave her more exposure than ever, and she handled it with grace. Still, the industry is watching. Fans are picking sides. And one thing is certain, this isn't over, because in the world of music, power and perception, receipts matter more than respect. And in this war of words, both Nicki and SZA just changed the game.